fuck we listening to, nigga?
Not the maniac.
This shit terrible, nigga.
I'm not the maniac.
Nigga?
Hey, yo, what's good? Where the fuck am I? Yay! What's good, man? That shit wasn't on there.
That nigga fucked up, bro.
That shit wasn't me. That shit was there before.
What?
Ain't you supposed to play like a nigga beat right now?
Yeah, we ain't get there yet, Puos.
Hey, yo.
And now enjoy the sounds of Black Roots.
Hey, fuck
Hey,
it,
yo.
The sounds?
Nigga want us to listen to
It's
a man.
ass, this shit is ass, this shit is ass, hey. This shit is ass, this shit is ass, this shit is ass, hey. All right, that's it. That's it.
Nigga didn't even let the beat drop. Nigga don't fuck with you.
I got a freestyle.
That nigga don't fuck with you, Roots. He did not let the beat drop or nothing.
That's that
That shit
dumb
was
ass
hard.
shit he be doing, man.
That shit was hard.
Hey, man, welcome back, man. This is the Real Rap Coalition podcast, and we back with another episode. Today we coming to bring y'all episode 25. Before we get into that, you know, today's a special day. Today's Cinco de Mayo, man. Shout out May the 5th.
Pull up, man.
Shout out all the Mexicans, Hispanics, man.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Shout
I
out to
gotta
the
get a
Hispanic
fucking
on
drink.
our panel, Jonathan Doe, man.
Yeah, he the only one you shouting out.
He's the only
Happy,
Mexican.
happy Spanish people
Day.
day.
Hey,
Happy Cinco de Mayo, Johnny.
Yeah,
No
Doug.
way.
Hey man, happy birthday, guys.
Wow.
Ain't that nigga fireworks like Hispanic or
Wow.
something?
No.
Yeah, but he ain't
way.
been here in forever. I
Plus,
talk
we
about
don't
him.
got a picture of his face cropped out. We can't.
I forgot about
him on him. So John is the
Happy Cinco de
put you in
Mayo.
the
You
picture.
fucking rat bastard. All right, man. Who we got in the building, man? My name is Showtime Slim. Who else we got in here? Let's go horizontally.
There you go.
Bob Celeste. I'm the best. Legend shit. Regular shit. Man, this movie's not about pigs. Let's go.
Big Lordy Lord, man. I'm here once again. And we drinking. Let's get right, brothers.
It's our
It's art, man.
See, Puos?
You I was about to say that, yeah.
Bro, stop playing with my man like that, bro. Stop playing with my man.
yo.
This nigga art is crazy, bro.
Stop playing with that man,
Hey
bro.
man. It's art.
Hey, man. It's Black Roots in this hole. I'm not drunk, but I'm about to pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Hi, how are you?
This nigga named Manorgate McGee.
Other shit.
Damn, bro.
Hey, that's it, KTL? You good?
Yeah.
All right, man. Today we come to bring to you The Hunt, picked by Lord Puos, Lordy Lord, man. Today's episode is brought to you by Howard the Duck. Shout out Howard.
I'm gonna
Luno,
get
without
mad,
any further
bro.
ado, hold it down. Luno, without any further ado, take it away, brother.
First of all, bitch ass nigga is my movie, so I have to at least do the summary.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this nigga, bro? He don't know
Well-
how shit work. It's only been a week, brother.
Well, I mean, over the past like 4 or 5, 6 weeks, you know, we haven't been doing it that way. But
Yeah, we just did that. We let
44
Art do his
was
shit
in charge.
last week. You don't know anything.
how?
We let Art say this like summary or why he picked the movie. Then Luno took over, brother. You need to learn.
Yeah,
your
they let that nigga do that shit. I wouldn't let him
you
do
gotta
that.
learn your shit, bro.
They let him do that. I
Oh,
wouldn't
no.
let him
I
do
mean,
that.
I mean, to be fair, yo, I'll be interested to hear his reason for picking the movie. So I got
Me
no problem
too, but
with
he
that.
need to say it, you know, say it ahead of time next time, brother.
Wow.
And no.
I got pulled.
Damn, he trying to father you, nigga. You gonna take that shit, Pujols? This nigga saying you not moving with procedure right now, bro.
No, he don't understand how the procedure works because we did the same exact thing last week.
Well, we ain't do it the week before.
Chat GPT-7 too much.
We ain't do it the week before. I know that.
Stop using the chat.
Watch the
GPT shit,
episodes.
man.
Watch the episodes. They watching.
He calling out the AI,
That
dog.
shit got your mind going. You can't come up with a thought on your own no more, bro. You
Yeah.
Chat GPT fucking your brain up.
Hold on, let me ask ChatGPT how to respond to that.
R.I.P.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, they said we're gonna lose the jobs to automation. They already
You got a
automated
Ouija
Slim.
board?
Oh yeah, we definitely finna lose the jobs to them.
He told me to say, Puos, you a bitch ass nigga. Get a summary.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
well I'm gonna listen to him because he knows best, don't
I
he?
ain't say it. He said it, bro.
That's a fact. Let's go. Ain't no summary. I'm just telling you why I picked it. Fuck it.
Let's go.
It's a dope movie. That's it. Let's go. No,
That nigga wasted. So-
all right, yo. This movie is basically about it's kind of like The Purge in a sort of way, just a little bit more comedy. Essentially, 12 strangers wake up in a clearing. They don't know where they are, how they got there. In the shadow of a dark internet conspiracy theory, some elite, rich-ass, aristocratic people gather at a remote location to basically hunt a bunch of selected humans for sport. But their master plan is about to be derailed when one of the hunted turns the table on her pursuers. And that is the plot summary of The Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, I'm not going to lie to you. This one wasn't one of my favorite movies. Not going to lie.
No, it's gonna be one of you.
But
Talk about it.
I want to do this movie justice because, you know, there's definitely shit to like about it. And when I say this, I'm not saying it's a horrible movie. I'm saying that this is one of those picks I feel like where I could kind of see sort of the flaws. But I want to just talk about the acting first and foremost and what everybody thought about the cast.
I love them all. Literally, every character from Snowball to Gary. Y'all probably don't remember who these. I don't know if y'all remember.
A little bit.
To Athena, like she was dope. They didn't show her face till like fucking 45 minutes.
An hour something in, huh?
And they did like a slow rotation into her face too. That shit was fire.
Athena. Damn, how the fuck did I do that?
How did you do that?
That was
I don't
clean.
fucking
That
know.
was
That's
clean.
crazy.
That's
Fire.
good, boy.
That's
Nice.
crazy as hell.
Nigga getting cold. Okay.
Fire,
accident,
okay.
nigga.
Yeah, there she go right there. You know, my reasons for liking this movie's cast is definitely going to be, you know, not only just the aesthetic, they have looks that kind of fit their roles, but also that, you know, these guys, they have some talent and shit, so they're doing what they're instructed to do. But I think a big part of this movie, which is a little bit tough to deal with at first, the first 30 minutes, I really didn't have to give a fuck about none of the people I saw. They just kind of used that to explain what's going on in a little bit to the viewer. But I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. I was waiting for mad long for there to be some constant that I could place my anticipation for this film into.
And you know what, Luno? It's crazy that you kind of had a distaste for that because I actually fucked with that.
Okay.
The fact that they kept misleading us purposely to think, oh, this is the main character. Oh, this nigga got shot. No, this was the main character.
Yeah, I definitely thought Shorty. I definitely thought Shorty was the main character. She got her head blown off.
It was a setup though the whole time. Like even in the most of the trailers they were showing back then, it was only showing like Emma Roberts and the first few characters and shit. They really
Emma Roberts was only in that whole like 30
I knew that was
exactly,
Emma Roberts, bro. Emma Roberts from
Yeah.
Unfabulous, from Nickelodeon back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, that's how they set it up.
I'll keep it a buck with you though. Like I agree with you, Roots. That's something that a movie can do well. I mean, I would say in Barbarian, kind of having things in the air as far as where we're exactly at with the setting is kind of good because I guess it warms you up for what's going on later. But you know what? I'm willing to say that in this movie, man, if the action and the sort of tension was there to like kind of make my confusion a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, engaging, it'd be one thing. But this is there's a lot of levity in this movie. This is a laugher. Like I feel like we're supposed to laugh watching this movie. Y'all agree? Like this is just
I
wouldn't say it's like a campy vibe to it. There's a lot of camp.
Hey, shout out
like,
Augustine the King too, man. Shout
like
out
Booty
whimsical.
bitches like this.
They did a good subversion of expectation with like never letting you know who the main character was for a little while. But I think they did it one too many times. Like after the third one, I was like, okay, this is a little bit old. Like I think they should.
But KTL, you know what I think about that? I think that the reason they did that was to set the scene of what we're getting into. Like they had the characters and then they ended up killing them all off. And then they brought up a new character. And like I said, in the story, we thought these other three characters were going to be the main characters. And then they killed them. And so it's like this thing to where it's like, what the fuck is going to happen? How the fuck is somebody going to overcome this shit type? And so I feel like that's the reason why they did that, to where they smoked everybody at first and then started bringing up people, you know,
that had some survival wherewithal.
to
gotcha.
set the scene.
For sure. And we got Kiara Robinson in the chat saying Artie. Art got some shorty. Yeah, he got some fans and shit.
Shout out Arts fans.
Salute to Miss Robinson for pulling up. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna say that Slim at the beginning, I was actually kind of up in the air as to whether or not it was like a serious film. Like when she had the mouth gag and she's in that place, we obviously seen that scene beforehand when they were in the plane and shit like that. I didn't know how deep they would take it. Well, it would be like pause. If it would be comedy or if it would be like really dramatic, like stab it up like kind of movie. But after they go into the clearing and shit and they open the crate and everything and everybody gets bodied and stuff, I realized mad quick this is a comedy, bro. It's like a little comedy with some action.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds
Ready
me
or
of
not.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's
It reminds
exactly
me of
what I
that a
said
lot.
before the podcast started. I think it's the same vein of movie.
Now,
Yeah,
Ready or Not, I enjoyed it.
I don't know if it's like a specific type of category that they use for these type of extra gory kills, but that is where the similarity lies with me the most, is how they're doing the kills. Like somebody gets shot in the face, they don't just get shot in the face, they get their whole shit blown off.
Facts.
Yeah, that little goofy shit, like when Shorty snuck up on them in that little compound and hit him with the headshot with the pistol. Yeah, that shit definitely exploded the motherfucking cranium. Like that wasn't no, entry wound, exit wound deal.
Yeah.
Like, his whole head exploded. So yeah, man, I just feel like okay, what else after when she grabbed the AR, but I think that this movie here was really goofy, and I don't have any problem with the goofiness. But one thing that I think in this movie actually hurt it was the loaded sort of political dialogue.
I was just about to ask you that shit. I was just about to ask you about that.
How do y'all feel about them kind of just trying to inject that little bit of, sort of politics, little, talking on things like gun, rights and shit like that, kind of throwing that in the movie.
That shit was dope to me, bro. Like,
I fucked
one
with
of
it.
my favorite scenes.
Go
Let
ahead.
me get this whole off real fast. Pause. One of my favorite scenes is like when the nigga, when they walk in the store and the nigga like, man, they outside trying to kill me. Then the old lady was like, well, aren't they just no, he was like, I got 7 guns, I'm exercising my rights. When she asked the nigga like, why you got 7 guns? And then she said, well, aren't they just trying to exercise their rights too? And that nigga got pissed. Like, bitch, what you talking about? Like, clearly, like,
then he got shot in his fucking chest.
Yeah, it was some scenes I liked and some scenes I didn't like.
Buddy right here.
Yeah, this nigga
It
right
did
here.
become. It did.
Hey, real quick, cast info. That motherfucker right there, I don't know how to say his name because he had a crazy ass Russian looking name. No offense to Russian people, but he's actually in The Neighbors with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron.
Great,
Oh, yeah.
cool.
I saw that movie.
But no, it was a little bit overwhelming with the commentary on that. Like just a little bit though. That's what kind of threw me off. Like I like that scene in the store, but then it was like other ones that the nigga these are crisis actors. I couldn't stand that part.
But
what
it's
they were
like
doing-
niggas who really
yeah.
like that though. Like
Yeah,
niggas who
yeah,
think
yeah.
like
I ain't like
Sandy
that part.
Hook
I ain't
and
like
shit.
that part
Sorry. Got another one.
I
Cast
wanna
alert.
finish, bro.
Cast alert, motherfucking oh shit! I just had his name up. Give me 1 second.
Like niggas,
Come on,
it's
man,
niggas
you
who
can't
don't
cut
think
us off
like
for this.
Ethan, I got it. Ethan Suplee. He was actually in Remember the Titans, and this nigga lost mad
Gary.
weight,
He was Gary.
like
Oh, that was
200,
Gary?
Oh, yeah,
200 pounds,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
But it's like niggas who don't think that Sandy Hook shit real. They really like
Yeah.
that. Nah,
No,
them
that's a
crisis actors and like all that.
So here's the thing, Pujols. It's like they did the commentary. The commentary was on point because I feel like they were talking about the topic the way like the people talk about the topics, and I also feel like the caricatures, like the chauvinist male gun fanatic type nigga, like they painted that, I just have 7 guns because it's my right as an American, the sort of irrationality. They're trying to make a parody of that caricature. But
yeah,
I
it
think
was
that,
satire.
but I think in these movies, you know what I'm saying, when you add that little
didn't
layer
work
of
for
depth
me.
or whatever, I look at that as pandering personally.
Mm.
Like I want a certain group of people to watch this movie. Yeah, they're having fun with the little action and shit, but I want them to hear these certain political ideas and shit. Now, keep in mind, if a movie came out real quick, if a movie came out with more of like a conservative angle, talking about, how black people commit more crimes and shit like that, I think that would be like a huge, like, red flag. So for a movie to be as like,
crash, man.
adamantly political and shit in this movie, you know what I'm saying? Did we need it? Did we need that in this movie for it to be good?
But Luno, I
thing
think
with
what it
that
was
point-
was that I think it was more of they was making fun of both sides of it.
Exactly.
both
And that's
sides.
actually what I was about
It
to
wasn't
say.
for you to really
So
take
2020
one side and for them to try to
2020
feed it
was
to
like prime cancel culture time. That's one thing you got to take into consideration when
True,
this
because
movie
you had to
came
do
out.
it in the base.
It was
yeah.
during that time.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was kind of not necessarily pandering to, but like catering to the people that think both sides are fucking stupid.
And I
And-
think that's like where the main character kind of comes into play. I think that's like the middle of the. She wasn't on either side.
Right.
Well, I think what she served to do for this movie was to show that like the woman can be the badass, right? To invert the narrative of the man has to be the badass hero and a man has to be the evil villain. They made the woman the evil villain. They made the woman the hero of the story, so to speak. I thought that was a really obvious ploy, along with the other themes in the dialogue that kind of showed that this movie was supposed to be a commentary. And I'm not saying it's an inherently bad thing. I think as y'all kind of opened my eyes up that, yeah, there was a little bit from both sides. Obviously, in the compound, the villains was talking about some, my bad, I gendered it. You know, he said he called it fun and he or some so, yeah, right. So there's definitely a little bit of both sides, and
I
I'll
thought
give you
that
that
was
credit.
kind of funny, especially when the part where they kind of got into like gender roles, and she was like, "Ma'am, do you want me to show you mercy? You know, just because you a girl?" And
She said
the lady
no.
was like, "No," and she
Air
shot
that
her
ass
butt
out of
out.
it.
I thought that was kind of funny how they did that.
What
Like,
about
she's so much
the
into
same
the
shit
gender
with
role
the same shit with the
Our gender
they
equality.
were doing the slideshow of trying
Yeah,
to
gender
figure out who
equality.
they were gonna put in the fucking field and shit. And a black dude picture came up and everybody got uncomfortable and
He
shit.
said,
Like, oh,
no,
we
we
can't
can't,
do
dude
we
was
can't
like-
use them.
But dude was like, "We got to have a person of color, or else it's gonna be, you know, crazy." Whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah.
It's gonna lack diversity. It's racist.
Hey, Luno,
Yeah.
what about, okay, we got all the political shit going on in the movie, but the main character, the Snowball, she was mistaken for somebody who tweeted or said some wild shit about Athena, and it's not even her. So the hero don't got shit to do with politics. She don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
And that's
So
what I
that-
was saying when
that
I
shit
meant
is
that.
crazy.
Flores.
Like, bro, I think it's fine. They got both
That's what I meant by
sides.
that.
Republican, Democrat, they don't say it, but they got both sides. Then the final hero don't give a fuck about none of that.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is fire to me.
Okay,
That's true.
I did some research on this movie a little bit too. This actually did like upset a whole lot of
Yeah, it
conservatives and shit.
Mhm.
Whereas though they
believe
pulled the movie from with the original release date, and then they just released it a year later, some shit like that.
Yeah, from what I saw, I believe this movie didn't stay in theaters long. Partially due to COVID, but probably partially to what you said too. Like, it got taken out of theaters really quick.
And you know what? I'm not trying to be, you know, hard on this movie per se, but you know, I'm kind of interested. You know, obviously IMDb, like I put a little bit of stock into their product, you know, just because they have like kind of a star-studded review cast. But 6.5, you know, I think if you do like risque political shit, but it's a dope movie, then nobody is that mad about it. There'll be a little controversy, but nobody's gonna like want to pull it from theaters. I think to Spike Lee is very controversial, sort of like writing and stuff like that. Them movies ain't get pulled. Those are box office hits, classics, you know.
But I also think that was a different time period.
And it was COVID, bro. That shit was peak COVID when this shit dropped. Like,
And also
Yeah, if it's
like
peak COVID, I think I would see that as more of a reason. But you know, if it was to be taken out of theaters, I think it would have to be an impotent movie that's doing a little too much.
and
Hey,
also
Luno.
like yeah, I understand that.
Luno, like you mentioned Spike Lee, even though when we did the Mo Better Blues review, one thing that we talked about was how the comedian up there, Robin Harris.
Robin Harris.
Yeah,
Robin Harris.
I couldn't think of his name. Yeah. Robin Harris, whenever the comedian Robin Harris was up there and he was doing like jokes about homosexuality and stuff like that, we was like, well, they was allowed to joke about that back then. However, if that came out now, they wouldn't be able to joke about that type of shit without getting backlash and a lot of criticism and all these different things.
That's true.
And so I think the time period got a lot to do with the content as well. So
Sure.
the
That's
Spike Lee
definitely a
shit, I
point.
think he definitely benefited from being like back in the day type shit.
That's definitely a point. I do think he's put some racialized shit out after the Mo Better Blues to where I think it's just kind of part of his brand. And I certainly don't think that he's ever done anything that I think merits being taken down. But to arise controversy, sure. And just comparing Mo Better Blues to this, not to get too off track, I would say that Mo Better Blues was such a great film on its own merits that the commentary was just dressing on top of the cake. Whereas for this movie, it felt like we only get some select moments where these characters aren't doing the action we're all waiting for. And in those times, instead of kind of developing the characters for their own sake and as their own people, they're kind of used as puppets to make these little punchy one-liners. And that's kind of what sort of threw me off here, because unlike a lot of other movies we watched, these characters really didn't have their own sovereign identity besides our main lead. They're always subservient to a tropes they were trying to make fun of. and that kind of takes
Right.
away from me, you know.
I get it. I think that was the point of it, so that's why I don't really you know,
Don't
give
harp
that
on
much.
that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think it was meant to do that.
How y'all feel about the main character?
She's
Fire.
badass. She's badass,
I
yo.
fuck
There's nothing
with her.
I could take from her. She's really dope. Sometimes they had her do dumb shit where she'd start humming or looking off into the distance
Yeah,
while
I
she having a
think-
conversation with
Yeah,
someone.
I didn't get that.
She's
I didn't
a
get that
very.
either.
I think that
Me
was
neither.
like
I ain't
for
get
her
it.
to like just express her craziness because she was in the military. She did
She's a
2 tours in
well-written
Iraq. I think that's what she said.
Yeah, maybe
And,
she gets like PTSD flashbacks. They could have said
Yeah.
that to add some depth, but I don't think they ever clarified why she had those little lapses and awareness
Let
or
KTL
whatever.
go real quick.
Down to.
Kind of low. Go ahead, KTL.
No, she's a well written character, acted horribly, in my opinion.
What?
You think she was acting
Oh,
horrible?
okay.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
like-
to Strom, I mean, to Steelman, you know, I'll give you that. She was given a lot of like badass moments, right? She's always going to be the one who overcomes the odds and shit in this movie. And so you could say that that's kind of a reason why I like her character is because she was the one doing the badass shit, you know, turning on the 2 motherfuckers behind the counter, so on and so forth. But, you know, I don't really learn much about her. And there was never like anything just about her specifically that was too raw. Like besides,
this is a
yeah,
pretty decently bad bitch who's out here like, you know, killing the shit out people and like
Which is
doing a bunch
fire.
of cold shit.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, like this is gonna be fire, but like all the time she's just delivering lines in a dumbass manner or making stupid ass faces like in the middle of serious moments. I couldn't take her seriously.
She's some country ass
acting
white bitch.
the fucking like I couldn't take her serious acting as the part that she was supposed to be.
It's
Hey,
a country
Pulos,
white bitch,
I
KTL.
definitely saw that because it reminded me of a girl that I know. And so when I was listening to her and I was seeing it, I'm like, yeah, I can see this in real life because it reminded me of somebody in real life.
It's
For
a
real.
Her
country
name
white
is
bitch.
like Beth or some shit. Ain't
I
it?
ain't a country white bitch, bro. That
No,
bitch
I ain't
was
gonna say her
acting
name
like
on here.
she was fucked up in the mind or whatever.
She is though.
She is though. She has
Weird
fucking
ass-
PTSD.
She was a war vet.
Dumb shit.
It ain't like this bitch
man.
just like a regular bitch turning up on people. She got a background of like a
She
military
definitely got a
background.
background, but also she's not doing things that suggest she's been in a stressful environment. She's doing things that just make her look like a goofball.
KTL, you can't judge
Yes,
a
brother.
How you
Like
gonna
what?
judge
Well,
her?
what do you mean?
Specifically,
Yeah,
what
I
are you
would want to
talking
know
about?
like an example because
She
I think
is mid the conversation with the what's his name, the like military advisor and shit,
The,
right? And she's just explaining what the fuck, like her, you know, big plan, what she wants and shit. That bitch just stops talking, just starts making different noises, weird ass facial expressions through serious moments, you know.
Serious for
Like-
who? She just bodied them niggas. She
Shit,
good.
I guess I'm not just talking about at that point, but I'm saying like throughout the movie,
look,
like she did not
Yeah.
convey the emotion of the situation that she was in well through
I
her
feel like she
mannerisms.
was
but that's because
emotionless.
this is partly a comedy, right? So we're not going to be seeing characters break
I
down, lose
agree.
composure too much. So I'll give her that little bit. Also, I think that with her to be this like edgy badass who like fucks up everybody and shit, there needs to be a little bit of disconnectedness or a little bit of something screws loose. So I'll give her that quirk.
Right.
My
I
thing
think they
is,
did comedy well in this
but
movie.
but my thing is, yo, I think that the tortoise and the hare moment was like
bullshit.
okay, you guys said fire. I don't even know.
Bullshit.
I don't really know what besides the revelation that guy was a traitor and they were going to be taken
Yes.
to the compound and finding the map. It's just sort of like,
I
why did
liked
she
it.
say it?
Didn't
Why
nothing.
though?
Because
she added
because
the
that
part
was
with the rabbit
I-
shit.
Hold on, one at a time,
I'll tell
one
you
at a
what
time,
it
one at a
was.
time.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it was. No, it was definitely something it was foreshadow. And it was foreshadow for the end of the movie, which we haven't really discussed yet.
Yeah.
But basically in the
to it.
story, she told the story of the tortoise and the hare, where you know everybody knows the hare raced the tortoise and he's so confident and cocky or whatever that he takes a nap in the middle of the race instead of crossing the finish line. By the time he wakes up, the tortoise is at the finish line and the rabbit tries to catch up, the hare, whatever he is. They was calling him a jackrabbit.
Jackrabbit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so before he can get to the finish line, the tortoise already reaches it. Now, the variation of this story that they use in the movie is that the
Yeah,
rabbit
fucked up.
was pissed. And so what he did was he went to the tortoise's home and he killed his mama and his daddy or whatever, his family, in front of the tortoise so that he could watch them die. And then he killed the tortoise and then he fucking
every bite.
basically ate all their shit.
Ate all their
He was
food
in their
and shit.
house, this and that. And so
Oh,
it's
okay.
Yeah, it was basically a.
That was a
That's
great
basically
the
comedic
last scene.
moment.
That's what
Yeah.
happened.
But
It ain't
that's
even just
exactly what
comedic,
happened.
bro. That's what happened at the end of the
Yeah, I
That's
was
movie.
about to
exactly
say,
what
it
happened in
was
the last
just a
scene. That's why I said it was
comedic moment.
foreshadowing. I don't think so. I think it was fire.
The comedic moment is not Gary, Don.
Yeah,
When he-
Don, like your
yeah,
mother told you that story. That was funny. I was
yeah,
like,
that was.
man,
And
And
he was
then,
that's
like,
and then,
about
"Wait,
like a
which
whole
one are
and
we,
then,
the
I
service.
think,
tortoise or the hare?" Like,
but I
She
think
took me
exact
around the
in
block
that
to
part,
Hey,
Pulo,
that right there,
the
Puos.
exactly. So with
Yeah,
him not knowing, or I don't think anybody knew
we didn't know.
which
Yeah,
side
I
they
was
were
pretty sure.
being spoken for, or
we didn't
being
know.
either the tortoise or the
Okay.
jackrabbit. I
And by
think
the
that
end, we found out.
I think, but even still, like all these other people died. Were they the fucking tortoise and she
yeah,
was the jackrabbit?
She
Like,
was the hare at the end because that's what they showed. For some reason,
That's
a
how it
fucking
always
rabbit,
was.
a fucking yeah. But like Root said, when she first told that story and Don asked that question, it was kind of maybe you said you knew it, but it was kind
I
of
don't think there
unclear
was
to me.
ambiguity
it was
because there was
definitely
not
unclear.
a precedent for what she was saying. In that scenario,
There
she
was
was
no
the only
reason for
one
her to say it at
continuous.
that point.
yes, it
Don't she?
was. Because
Wait.
remember, that nigga Don was like, "Man, let's just take the car and leave." And she
Yeah.
said, then she said that story, letting niggas know she ain't going nowhere. She finna go fuck them niggas up.
She's the only one with a precedent of extended periods of violence. These
I
people
mean, yeah,
are
I kind of
literally just doing this shit because they're mad about some shit. They're not the winning rabbits. They don't always win. They did some shit now and they fucked up.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
we
they still
don't.
got out
I
of
feel
it
like
in a
we
fucking
don't know
good
that
manner.
at that point.
At
I feel like
at
we
that
don't know
point
that at that point.
at that point in the movie, they've already explained how they got to this point of going back and explaining Athena and going and explaining what happened that led them to this point.
No,
You
they
know,
didn't. Not at that point. They
Mhm.
didn't.
you sure they didn't
Yeah,
go
Nah.
back and,
it
and
didn't
No.
happen
show
until
them?
after she had to fight with that
Yeah,
military
it
nigga.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it happened right after she left the military dude, and she was going. Before the last scene is when they showed the 1 year ago shit. So at that point where she was out there with Dunn and they first killed the man, Dunn wanted to know why that they was doing that, and she
Yeah.
ended up killing him before he could say anything. Well, he didn't know either. She said pretty much, and so we didn't know anything about why this was happening or what these people's motivation was for hunting them down and trying to kill them. And
Yeah.
so for me, I think it was a little bit of ambiguity there with the rabbit. I do agree with what y'all said about, of course, she probably was going to be the rabbit. I probably had that in the back of my mind too, but I wasn't clear about it until pretty much the end. I was like, okay, I see how this all tied in together.
Well, at the same time, even though they didn't tell this, as you said, they didn't give the backstory until later on. In this situation, maybe the rich motherfuckers feel like they're the fucking tortoise because they did what they needed to do in order to win the race, and then everything was fucking taken from them
Maybe they do
because of these
but
fucking tweets and shit.
they might, but that don't matter because we're seeing it from the perspective of the main character. And so what she says or what she thinks is really what it is, basically. So maybe they do think that.
I think with the story being told, I think it was just a matter of it's something to I don't know, mirror perception or to be an example of perception. Who do you think
I
you
agree
are?
with you, Roots, because I definitely thought that whenever Athena came out and she was like, they showed us the background and how they all got fired because of people were online talking crazy and this and that. I kind of was like, okay, they actually got a good reason for why they're doing this. They're not just doing it just to do it. A lot of times when we see shit like Ready or Not, they was just killing people just to kill them because of the quote unquote family curse. A lot of these movies, they're just doing it just to do it, just for sport.
Right.
However, when Athena said that and they showed how, okay, these people on the internet actually fucked their lives up because they was playing a joke and it ended up spreading through the internet and they got fired. I understood. However, in the climax, the end of the movie, which I could go ahead and spoil, I guess we a good way through. The end of the movie, we realized it's a plot twist, and like I don't know if somebody mentioned this, but she's not the real person that actually went on there talking crazy about Athena. It's somebody with the same name from her
Just
hometown.
felt differently.
Yeah,
I think that shit was fucking hilarious.
and so
You did
at
all
this
shit to
point,
get this bitch here and it fucked you over.
and
It
that's
was
the thing.
wrong
At
bitch.
this point, even though Athena might have had a good reason for doing what she was doing, you got the wrong person. And so this person is in this position for no reason. So she's not the tortoise like she's not the bad person in the situation. She didn't do anything. She was just thrown here.
Right.
So it's like when it comes to her versus Athena, she's technically the rabbit.
The end of the movie was it further reinforced the fact that within this movie, nobody is right. Someone is just left. Like
I don't think that, but I don't think that she's wrong. The main character is Crystal. I don't think she's wrong.
Shit.
Okay, tell me how. What did she do?
Because once that shit happened, like she got through there, like in there, no fault of her own. That is, true and whatnot. The problem lies in the fact that she has the capability to get out of this situation.
I knew you was gonna say
but
that.
She wants to continue because she wants what she wants. And at the end of the movie, she gets what she wanted in the end because, little fucking rabbit and metaphor or whatever. Like that. Realistic, like both of these people are sociopathic pieces of shit. It's just one of them has more of a side because realistically they in this situation.
I think she deserve it. I think she deserve all that shit. Like you put me through all this shit. You've been trying to kill me all day. I'm finna come beat your ass and take your life.
That is the perspective. Like the masculine, idea in my mind thinks that go, this bitch killed this other bitch. That was some cold ass shit. But like the logical side is just like, okay, like you're just all big of a piece of shit. Like motherfuckers literally had that whole like moral argument towards the end where like they're arguing about like, I believe in the truth. No, like no, you don't. Well, yeah, because I did this. Okay, well, I did this. Like, and that just kind of solidified to me that like this was not about who was right and who was wrong. This is about who's gonna survive.
Yeah, I agree. But so I do agree with both of y'all with what y'all just said. However, I think when it comes to the truth, Athena was right. The people weren't in it for the truth. I don't know they called them deplorables. They weren't in it for the truth. They didn't know. What she said was that they took something that they wanted to be true and they made it true.
Yes.
Right.
So she's correct by saying that. And however, whenever Crystal was telling her like, okay, I'm not the right person, Athena wouldn't believe it. And so she's like, yeah, you're not in it for the truth. Because the actual truth is that she's not the right person.
No, I don't.
Well, at the same time, in that scene, she also said, even if it's not you, because she didn't believe it, but she just played into it. Even if it's not you, you're still one of those type of people that that go on the internet and take something and run with it, and it destroys.
That's what she meant. But that's what she meant by she wasn't in it for Athena wasn't in it for the truth.
I don't view it like that because I think that like within that scenario, like Crystal's point was that like, okay, so your solution about people going and making lies about you murdering people is like to actually kidnap and murder people. Like that's a logical fallacy, in itself. So like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot for that. But like, why?
That's like that Keisha Cole shit. That bitch said she should have cheated.
Should have.
You think that's the same shit?
Yeah, she like that nigga accused her the whole time. Like I should have did the shit.
She didn't.
Exactly.
I guess
she should have.
But yeah,
that's
like
the whole point.
Like I say, like that bitch decided that the best way to get back, like all the people that were like getting killed, they were all pieces of shit anyway. Like everyone that died in this movie that I can think of is just an absolutely fucking horrible dickhead.
Yeah, I figure you
gotta be talking about the elitists, right? You can't be talking about just the regular common people that was.
I'm talking about both of them.
Well, the people in the store. What reason did they have to die, KTL?
Because you're like these people were very clearly like they're leech-like parasites, right? They get off through spreading whatever they view, which might be misinformation, just a bunch of bullshit. It's a large hive mind, Slim. These people, like, they're just out here trying to create propaganda and unrest amongst the people through the guise of like attempting to be these whistleblowers. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's all bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
there was something
like,
wrong with every one of them.
Well, I'll say this though, Roots. Look, so I see what he's saying, but to me, what those people did at the beginning, it wasn't really shown. Like at the end, they kind of like showed a couple people and what they did. Like Gary even said it. Like he had the podcast where he was like a conspiracy theorist or something.
Yeah.
But the people in the store, the reason I didn't look at it that way is because I didn't know what they had done. And so I'm looking at it like,
And that's
okay,
fair,
to me, they didn't do anything.
Fair, like I'm assuming
there's
everyone
actually
did a roughly similar thing.
real quick. There's actually a scene where they at some point they show a picture of everybody, that all of the deplorables,
Yeah.
right? And so
it was in
the
her
three people
house.
that was in the store, you had the fucking they referred to him as Staten Island, the guns dude, right? So he's a fucking bigot. That was his thing. He's one of them with the government's gonna fucking take our guns and all that other shit, right? And then
That make you a
the
bigot?
female, not necessarily, but there was like some other shit with that.
He
But
said
the
that made you a
female,
bigot.
they showed her at a anti-gay rally where she was holding up a sign saying "Stop being gay," and that's frowned upon. That's also bigotry. Fucking the other dude, he was like from Florida or some shit. I don't know. He had a face tat of the state of Florida on his face, but his picture was a fucking mugshot. So it's safe to say that there was
No, sir.
Mm.
I'm not agreeing with you on these last 2 points you just made.
I
what?
don't agree either.
It's no way you're saying
Maybe
that's
not
the
mugshot
justification.
thing, but
No, I'm not saying
Mugshot
no.
or the lady with
Listen.
the
And
oh
see,
no, the other
okay,
one was
so
like,
ask
come
the
on, bro.
question instead of jumping to conclusions. What I'm saying is, listen, I will answer you. What I'm saying is, it's some way, shape, or form to make these deplorables look like bad people as well. Even though all of these people that they're doing, most of them are just expressing their First Amendment right of freedom of speech. But there is a certain group of people that don't appreciate expressing freedom of speech that is hateful or hurtful speech.
Being a good
But you're
bad
talking about
person-
from their perspective, and KTL is saying that every person so he's saying that every person in this movie is a fucked up person from his perspective, from our perspective, the viewer.
being a good or bad person is subjective. Being a
agree.
dickhead is not, because these things that you're naming, like these things that you're naming, regardless of how you feel they fall on a moral
That
spectrum,
don't make you a
it
bad
is a
person.
result. No, hold on. It is a result of you not minding your business and going out with an attempt to fuck with somebody else. Just
How?
off the
That might
strength,
be
bro.
cap.
How?
Because Slim, what? Think about it, right? What reason do you have to go to an anti-gay rally and stand there and hold a sign and yell all type of shit? Like, you really could have just stayed at the crib.
But
watched
look,
the
so
movie,
I don't want to.
like, there's a million things you
But
could have
KTL,
done.
I don't want to
But you
debate
went
that
out of
point
your way
because
to attempt to marginalize a set
You're
of
not
people.
saying it's
debate that
right,
point
but do you
because
deserve out for that?
Who else? That's what I was saying. Like, good or bad people is a subjective term.
But there's a
But
different point I want to
said
debate
was
there,
all
KTL.
Go
these
I
ahead,
don't want to.
people are
Slim. My
dickheads.
bad.
They're all dickheads, and it's not debatable. It's
I
not-
don't want to
it's
talk
not a
about
debatable
that.
point.
No, because you're making a point that I can see where you're coming from with that right there. Whether or not I agree with you,
Let's hear
but
the
however,
counter argument, Slim.
yeah, the one that Roots spoke about last was the guy with the mugshot.
Yeah.
Now you can't tell me that just because somebody has a mugshot that they went out of their way to just fuck with somebody else. KTL, we have no proof of that.
All right,
so I can't say that.
And that's not exactly what I'm saying. But
no, he said that.
Also,
well, no, Slim. But like,
I'm talking about
we
KTL.
look at this in a logical manner, right? Do you think that they, and I know you're gonna say, well, I don't know.
We don't know.
But like, just logically thinking, you think like they had like 12,000, however many thousands of people they said,
and they were just
think
picking
they picked
people.
the guy who went to jail.
Hey, KTL,
jaywalking tickets
when
that
they
were
did this,
outstanding.
listen, when they did the selection process, they were just selecting people because somebody was like, we can't pick everybody. They was just picking people, bro.
Yeah, they wasn't just picking people. They seen a black man in a cowboy hat. And
that was later.
Nah, even a person who picked up, even when they even though they got the wrong Crystal, did you hear her explanation? Because she said "fuck Athena." That was it. That was the explanation.
Yeah, it was over with right there.
Yeah, fuck Athena.
Fuck Athena. She did some bullshit. That was her explanation.
That's all she needed to hear.
Of ending up on a manor, bro.
Okay,
so I can't agree with
First,
you niggas.
they gave Athena, whether she was lying or not, she gave that bitch backstory and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the bitch that like she thought that hoe was. And so like she didn't just do that shit, but also
Yes, she
but the
did,
back
though.
literally the
whoa,
entire
KTL.
stop. The entire point whenever that shit happened was that bitch was punching on a bag, and as soon as she heard that shit, she got mad and went, you know what I'm saying? Like went out there and was like, yeah, like get that bitch. Like she definitely took that shit personal. She's
Yeah,
not
so
right for that.
okay, so what does the original, not even our main character, what does the other Crystal have to like? Because she said fuck Athena, that makes her deserve to, that makes her a bad person.
Like I think that from my understanding, the implication was that this bitch was like a fucking like a strung out drug addict, like racist.
No, her
and some old
parents were.
Her parents were.
fucking
That's
drug
what I was gonna
addicts,
say.
and
What
wasn't
about
her.
even Gary though?
Yeah.
That nigga Gary didn't do nothing but talk. He like an A-Dep nigga.
Puos,
Like
let me
he
tell
just
you
had a
what
Yeah,
it
but
podcast.
I'm
Puos,
no, you're
I'll
not
tell you
changing
exactly
my
what it
opinion on
is.
that, Puos.
No, it ain't about them being bad people.
That
What it's
DJ
about
academic
is
shit, that shit over with.
listen, what it's about is that it fucked up their lives. They ended up getting fired from their jobs because these people went on the internet. That's all it is.
Yes.
It ain't got nothing to do with them
And that
being bad
inherently
people.
is another example of what I was
But
talking
but
about.
KTL, if they didn't fuck up their jobs, then they wouldn't
No,
have gave a fuck
no,
If
about
they
what all these other
messages
people
didn't
doing.
get leaked, bro.
Yeah, that Slim, I don't think you like are understanding me. I'm not saying that these people who organize this are good people. They're clearly cunts. They
No,
did this
I'm
shit
saying
as a-
I don't
they
I'm
did
think
saying
this
you
that
shit
said.
as a
motivation
matter
you're
of
giving them is
vengeance, bro.
bullshit. Though.
They didn't care. They don't care about like what good or bad people are. They did it because somebody was a dickhead and affected their life.
That
Now
don't
they
make them
were
a
right.
dickhead.
They were
No,
right about
I don't
like
think
what
that
they
makes
were
them a
saying.
dickhead because
What?
I don't think that makes them a dickhead
You
because
don't think it makes someone a dickhead to kidnap
no
random people, fly them
not
away, and
that,
murder them
not
because they
that.
talk shit
The
about you
other
on the
people,
internet?
KTL, the other people.
Oh no, like yeah, they
The elitists?
100% were.
No, the
No,
people on the
the people
internet.
No,
on the
the
manor, bro.
It's people
Okay.
that type on the internet every day. Like we probably have said shit about people on the internet. I don't think that
100%.
makes you a dickhead because you say
It
something on the
does.
internet about people.
It does.
No,
You
it
just gotta,
doesn't.
you gotta own that about
Yeah,
yourself.
that's
Yeah, nigga.
crazy.
Done
So
that
if they tie your ass up for some shit, you okay, and I'm not gonna say what it is, but
That's
Yep.
crazy.
hold on, no.
I
Let's
done heard
say
all
somebody
types of crazy
chill
Now
out,
watch,
Slim.
watch
Hold
this.
on,
Go
hold
ahead,
on,
let him go.
hold on. I'm not gonna say what it is, but let's say
Uh-huh.
niggas pull up some old shit you said
Yep.
when you
Yep.
was fucking 15,
Yep.
and motherfuckers tie your ass up and put you on a manor in a survival camp. Did you deserve that? Are you a dickhead for some shit you said when you was 15?
I'm 100% a dickhead. Do I deserve it? I
You're
don't know.
you're
But
27,
like,
26 now, so
no,
you
but
still a dickhead?
my entire
He's
point
definitely
is that
still a dickhead.
there is
Well, he
definitely
is, but
some dickhead ass shit that
I
went
don't
on.
think he was.
It's
He
not
would
about whether you deserve.
repeat that action again, though.
Nobody deserved none of this shit that happened to them. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody. Like nobody that like.
So
you don't
are you
deserve to get murdered for being
your initial shit was like nobody is a good person. Like you ain't see no good person. Nobody is a good person throughout all.
In my opinion, yes.
Why though?
Because I feel like everyone was here for a reason. The rich people were here because they, couldn't get over the fact that how dare some fucking lower class piece of shit cost me the things in my life through internet propaganda that isn't true.
Mhm.
All the deplorables as they're called were there because they had. I've said all the time, the internet gives a lot of people a voice that they don't have otherwise and do not deserve. People go online and they consistently go out of their way, and not just online. We saw like examples in person, but they go out of their way to like fuck with people that they don't know
Slander
and that are
people and
not
shit like
bothering
that.
them because they feel it aligns with their moral compass and what their values are that they were taught. And I think that everything would be just a
freedom of
lot
speech,
easier,
bro.
and it doesn't sound.
That's what I'm saying, Puos.
Everything would be a lot easier if people would just like.
Puos, I've been
stop
on the internet
fucking with
speaking
people
out.
That doesn't bother you, bro. Like, what are you doing?
I've been
what
on the
did you
internet,
gain
Puos,
from
speaking
this?
out about certain police brutality acts that have happened in the past, and I don't think that makes me a dickhead because I'm calling somebody
That wasn't
out for.
unprovoked.
You would have ended up on that manor, bro.
But
Your
that's
ass
what I'm
would've ended
saying.
up on there.
That's what I'm saying.
That wasn't unprovoked.
But KTL, like
A
from
motherfucker
their
seen a text message and
perspective,
said, "These goddamn rich folks are out here throwing us on a goddamn farm and shitting people.
He do that
Get
shit way
rid
too
of
well,
them.
cuz. He
Boy,
do
you
that shit
don't
way too
fuck
well,
off,
cuz.
dog.
Hell no.
That's him.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
son?
but if that was really happening, that should be spoke
What,
about
you
and
don't
put
eat
out
a
in the
dick,
world.
dog?
That should be put out in the world,
Yeah, I think
bro.
Man,
KT,
that
are you
shit
saying
whack
that
as a
everybody?
bitch,
Are you
Pujols.
saying
If
That's
everybody
you
should
whack,
be?
put
nigga.
some shit like
Are you
that,
saying
That's the
everybody should
same
be
shit.
silent?
That's
You
the
saying
same
everybody
as that
should be
police
silent,
brutality
KTF?
Slim,
shit,
I'm
bro.
saying that people like all of this whole movie, you know, as cop out as it sounds, this whole movie is never made, you know, within universe. Like this shit in this movie never happens if everybody just minds their fucking business.
Come on, bro. I can't give you that
Yeah, I
one.
disagree
I already
with
said
what
it's
you're saying.
idealistic. It's not
I
realistic.
can't give you
but,
that.
It's 100%.
Yeah, I don't agree
So
with
look,
that at
so
all.
look, so I don't even want to do this.
You right,
because-
Pujols, about what you said about the police
jeez.
brutality being the same thing. That's why
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
agree.
saying. So let's just say,
Like
I
I,
did
said,
the-
bro, that's
I
not
did the same thing
unprovoked,
that
bro.
they did.
Somebody
No, listen.
did some fuckery that is
listen.
documented, and like you know, it caused the death of people or like the harm of people. This shit right here, there's no evidence of any wrongdoing beyond a message that a motherfucker, like a message thread that motherfuckers posted. You haven't found no people missing. You haven't been able to connect anything like with a fucking
That
weird
doesn't
string
matter, bro.
theory
Ain't
net.
that reasonable
None of
doubt?
that,
You know
bro.
damn well
You're
if you
just
say
doing
something,
shit.
if you
Ain't
say
that beyond
something,
reasonable doubt?
let's say,
No.
bro, let's say,
think it is.
you and fucking, I don't want to keep using you. Let's say me and some random person got like some messages planned, and I said, I bodied a nigga, or like,
Yeah.
I with graphic details.
They gonna use that shit.
Yeah, they gonna use even in
Here's
your
what I'm saying, Pujols.
even in your music, like AR
YNW
rapping them
Melly.
niggas.
Why
If
NW Melly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if,
that
it's,
nigga.
if it's me, but all these things that y'all are saying, if it's me, you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, I see some shit, I'm like, damn, he kind of wilding. Then I'm going about my business. I'm not
KT,
gonna,
I've seen you
at
speak out about
911,
shit
at
online,
FBI,
though.
at police, like.
All right,
KT,
look, look.
I've
you
seen-
wanna be
I've
the
seen you
police?
speak
Why
out about
do
shit
you
online on
judge?
KTL.
I got
Why
one
do you
last-
judge what-
I got one last question for bro.
Why do people get to judge what other people do, bro? Like realistically.
And you don't be political either when I ask you this shit. All right, so what? All right, so what
Hold
if
on,
it's
hold on, Pujols. You gotta. There you go.
Don't duck shit, nigga.
what if it's
Oh yeah, they should have
That was
killed him
fine.
too.
That's a fact, nigga. Don't duck shit. All right, so what if like
They should have killed him.
what if we on Discord
Yeah.
and they pull up like I'm gonna just say random flag text messages. He talking to a nigga like he wanted to fuck a nigga. You gonna be like, that nigga gay in the bitch, ain't you?
KTL gonna talk crazy.
You gonna say that nigga? What you gonna say,
But
bro?
that's what I'm saying,
There's
bro.
no
Like,
proof that he really want to do it. He just said he could be playing.
No, Pujols, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one thing to like do some shit like that. It'd be another thing if I like took these screen messages and sent it to his job and said, "Sir, you have a homosexual working here." That's like, what? Like, that's what happened here. They cost people like a $1 million job
see what's
because
going
they're
on.
like,
I
"Hey,
see.
have you seen this?"
Yeah, let's get
Nah,
off.
I'll
Let's get
feel
off
you,
this
though.
subject.
I feel you.
Let's see what's going on.
No, it was all funny when Howard the Duck was up there.
PTSD situation.
It was all funny when Howard the Duck was there.
Shout out Howard,
Idiot,
man.
bro.
That nigga said, "Oh, I see what's going on."
I see what this is about. Hey,
Hey,
y'all want to
look,
get into
look,
them
look.
final thoughts, man?
Now, real quick, I don't know if y'all
I gotta
talked
ask you
about
something
They gotta ask you something
the
else.
fighting scene, but one
Oh!
thing I was really
Yeah, that's what I want to
impressed
ask
by-
about, Roots.
We
They
missed
did
that.
good.
One thing I was really impressed by, if people have followed Hillary Swank, she delves into the action genre just a little bit, not a whole lot, but there's a couple of different things. She was in $1 Million Baby. She played a female boxer, and her first one was back in 1994 of The Next Karate Kid, where she played the main character in that movie of the Karate Kid series. And she has performed very well, but this scene, her fight scene in this were a lot different from those. Karate
Can
Kid
I,
is kind
talk
of
about
slow
that before you
paced
go,
back
Pujols?
in the 90s
Yeah,
and
go
whatnot.
ahead, bro.
And so this is like really fast paced. Like she flipping over counters and shit and fucking using weapons. She fucking stabbed
Bro, it was pretty realistic.
whatever
bro.
with a
I gotta
fucking,
hear what this
a-
nigga gotta
a-
say,
a
bro. Because
temperature
I have a
poker or some
question for
shit.
him. And he
Well,
might
you can ask your question.
He probably
and then
finna
I'll
answer it right now. Go ahead.
No, you can ask your question. I was finna talk about some
I
stuff
feel like I
found
know
out.
what he finna say.
Nah, I just want to know how you felt about the fight.
The fight? No, the fight was fire.
You talking about me or KTL?
No, I want to ask Slim just because
Oh, okay.
something previously he said a year
I thought it
ago.
was amazing.
Okay, okay.
year ago?
Just checking. Yeah, because he thought on the boys I thought he just hate bitches, hate women.
Oh yeah, that fight was ass on the
Nah,
boys.
you capped. That fight
Them
was
kicks
fire.
and stuff. Oh, that was terrible.
They was jumping the shit out that bitch. Fuck out
That
of here,
shit was
nigga.
trash.
You a
It
hater.
was beating the shit out of her. I know what scene you talking about.
Nah,
You
that
said
scene
was
was
trash.
ass. The girl power scene. That
It
shit
don't
was
matter.
Nah,
It don't
ass.
matter. We can talk about that off, but I'm gonna give you that. Since you said this was amazing, that means you love women and you just not a hating ass nigga. So go ahead. Do your thing.
Did you have to
Proud of
question
you,
that?
bro.
What?
Not because if you would have said this fight was ass, I would have said, nah, I can't fuck with you. You're lying.
No, that fight was fire. But so what I found out about this is that so this fight, Roots, what you was talking about, this fight was actually choreographed by 5 women, and the lead choreographer, the person that was I guess she worked as a stunt actor too. Her name is Heidi Moneymaker. I don't know if any of y'all know her.
That name fire.
What a name.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
That
Shit,
name
that's
That's
a
a fucking
fire.
wrestler name.
big
That's
Heidi.
a bitch.
Yeah, that's a bitch.
Who
She
knows?
was like a Resident Evil actress.
Yeah, but so it was her. It was Hillary Swank. The lead actress. Her name is Betty Gilpin, I believe, something like that.
That's
And then they had their own stunt doubles, and the 5 of them ladies, they choreographed that one fight, and so maybe that's why it was so crazy, because they had 5 people working on it. But I think it was fire.
She's Scarlett Johansson's stunt double for
Black Widow. Yeah,
Fire.
she also was Letty's on Fast and the Furious for like 2 of the movies. She was Letty's stunt double, and
I've
she
seen
did
some
some
of her
shit. She did
kinda
some
fire.
stunt shit for John Wick movies too. I know the 2nd and 3rd one for sure.
Sound like that bitch get active.
Yeah,
I tell you
Uh,
what, she got arms like Tina Turner, bro. She swole as a
she got
motherfucker.
fire. She got a picture where she look a little different than that too, but that's the one of. But also that pig. I found out some information about that pig. Man. First of all, I don't get the significance of the
Animal
pig,
Farm.
but
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm.
Yeah.
I
Oh
didn't see
wow.
Animal Farm is
It's
it's a movie too. The movie's actually pretty good, but it's a book basically, and it's used as like a metaphor for like
Society and
yeah, like
fucking.
society.
Didn't we
and
all
shit
have
like
to
that.
read that shit in high school, or am I just
I
way
did.
off?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't-
had
I
to
did
read
not
it in
read
high
that.
school too.
I did.
I fucking read the fucking what is it
Invisible
called?
Man.
Lord of the
Lord of the
Flies.
Flies.
Boy,
They had a
get
pig.
your
Which
ass
is
out of
it's
here.
sort of a similar
They had a
vein,
pig
but
there too.
That nigga.
nah, but
I
yeah,
had us
no,
reading Anthem.
the
That
pig,
nigga
yeah,
was in
the
fucking
significance is
because
definitely
you from the
Animal Farm.
country, nigga. You from some dirty ass place in Louisiana.
Oh, and
That's
Slim. On top of that, too, Animal Farm is about class conflict. Sorry.
Conflict.
And this movie here is pretty much about the rich trying to pick off the poor, right? So it
Right.
kind of works together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. So pretty much the fact that I found out about this pig is that the pig was treated as an equal on set, and so they gave this nigga like full course meals and catered shit.
That's wild.
So that's,
dope.
They gave him a shirt and fucking dinner.
Let that
that nigga
eat.
definitely wear a shirt.
Yeah,
definitely
some
had a shirt on.
shoes too. I think.
He had a dress on at first.
It might be a she.
I mean, her name
Quality.
was Charlotte, I think.
All right, man. Well, y'all ready to get into the final thoughts?
I've been
Wait,
that
it was
last
something
debate
else.
y'all had. That debate y'all had was kind of
was-
crazy.
One last thing, man. I thought it was fire. Like when they having the little monologue, they talking it out. Like when Snowball pull up, when Crystal pull up on her, she telling her reasons for all that shit. She got the music playing, and my bitch say, "Bro, you just gonna let this Beethoven shit play, or we gonna box it the fuck out? What the fuck
And
you
then she
doing?"
ran down on her.
Yeah, nigga. Oh yeah, and when they was fighting, the bitch pulled a gun. She said, "Bro, now you need a gun.
Now you need a gun. You a pussy. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, they got
nigga.
Crystal fucked up.
She
Apparently that
clapped
shit
that
was
hoe on that
Mozart
bitch
too.
arm.
But shout out Beethoven and Mozart. Salute
Also,
y'all
hey,
niggas.
cut
real
that shit
quickly,
off.
the one who was playing like an Arab refugee or whatever, who was actually in on the situation, why y'all think he let him go?
He
What do you
did
mean?
not.
What you mean?
He got killed.
That nigga died.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he
He
did.
won her.
Yeah, he
Oh,
blew
never
up,
mind,
bro. He got a
never mind,
grenade
never
shot
mind.
in his
Right.
pants.
Oh yeah, all right. You putting it together because they showed like a time skip or a backtrack, I guess, to when they were planning the whole shit or whatever else.
Yeah, that was a year before
That
when they
threw
were
me
showing
off.
the backstory.
Okay. Got you.
That motherfucker got blown up with a grenade, dog.
Hey, that was
That
sad.
was
You really
fucking
couldn't undo.
insane, bro.
Pause,
Took that
but you really
20
couldn't undo
seconds,
your
though.
shit.
I would have definitely got. I would have just.
But he
paused,
couldn't
came
get
out
that
behind
out of
it.
he
Yeah,
couldn't get
bro,
that
I'm
grenade out of his
saying,
pants,
I
I
bro.
would have just took my
Bro,
shit
and
off.
He
then,
had like a
bro,
belt,
the
like he could've
fuse,
just-
the fuse on that grenade must have been long. as
Yeah,
shit.
that shit
Pause,
took
like,
forever,
that shit
boy.
took mad long. But regular
Uh-huh.
frag grenades got like 5 seconds
5
of
seconds.
delay on it,
That,
bro.
that nigga ass. He let
Also,
somebody
they-
put some shit in his pants and it
They didn't
blew
even
up.
show us the aftermath of that shit. Basically, Shorty ends up on the caravan, and then Brogwen's missing, and then you find he got killed, obviously. But why she got to get let go? Wasn't she with that nigga on the like?
Hell
they
no,
had
they was
suspicion?
real refugees. He was just out here playing.
They just said, "All right, this is crazy, nigga. We got to dispose."
I
of
think he
him
talking
with
about
her."
Gary.
Yeah,
Nah,
Gary.
Gary got away.
Gary ended
after
up
he
in the
blew
back
a
of the
nigga
truck.
up.
I don't know
Yeah.
how.
Hey,
Gary
Gary
dipped
played
out.
on Gary played on My Name Is Earl. I think he was on Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, he was on a lot of shit. He was on
Gary
Boy Meets
dope.
World.
Yeah, he on a bunch of
the fat
yeehaw ass
motherfucker
nigga
from,
might have been on the
He
Huge
definitely
Remember
is
the
in some
Titans.
yeehaw ass shit because he looked like a yeehaw.
True.
He looked
Shout
look
out
like Mick
Gary,
Foley.
man. I fuck with him. Shout out Dunn too. That's my guy.
All right, man.
I've seen him too.
Good shit,
On
boys.
Slim
Slim,
first.
is it time?
Let's go. Let's do it.
He put the banner up before, but he got to put that back up.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
facts. Said final thoughts and review. Never mind.
Wow. How about that?
Slim, you might as well put Howard the Duck back up there at that point, my boy.
Hey man, don't tip me, KTS, my nigga.
How you know that shit that
That
fast,
nigga
bro?
angry as shit,
So
bro.
when I bring up Howard the Duck, I get hated on.
No,
I just
hate
found out
that
who he
shit,
was
but
'cause
that,
of you,
that
bro.
other shit.
Hell
even
no.
You
more
told me who
you,
he
bro.
was,
I hate
Bruce. I
it.
didn't know him.
That other
Let's
shit.
go,
even
man.
more
We
ass.
gotta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do.
All
We
right,
do
man.
got it. You know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
What this
Hey.
nigga art rating is?
Did he say it? I don't know if he said it.
This bedtime ass nigga, man.
I nigga
All right,
got
so-
kids. 1,000 of them.
Nigga. All right, bro.
You don't got 1,000. He got 1,000.
All right, man. So for this movie, The Hunt. So I kind of agree with y'all a little bit when y'all said the first 30 minutes or so,
That was me.
it was kind of, everywhere, kind of, I guess. But that didn't take away from me. Like I said, I think I kind of understood why it was that way. And once the main character got into the story, it kind of immediately caught my attention. It had my attention already because I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is happening? It was definitely shifting characters. So I had the belief that the people in the store were going to be the characters. So I was watching to see what the fuck was going to happen. Then they die. And then it's a fucking phone call that says, oh, this other lady's coming. So I watch her when she comes in. And from the very start, when she came in, it was something off about her. And you could tell. And the people could tell. And so I was in tune with that entire scene. And then she caught me all the way the fuck off guard when she did that shit with that lady. I figured she was going to do something, but it caught me off guard when she grabbed
What
the
she
lady.
say, Slim? Like how much is cigarettes in Arkansas?
Yeah. She said it was $6.
$6,
But that lady
bitch.
gave her
You
$10 and some
fucked
change
up,
or something like that.
bitch.
She said, you fucked up, bitch.
Shot
So-
her in the face with a shotty, nigga.
That's why I feel like she was kind of cold because
She's so dope, bro.
her character was emotionless. Like she didn't give a fuck about anything at any point. Her only care was like survival. And so I kind of like how this character went. I don't think her acting was really bad. I think it was good for the type of character that she was supposed to portray. So I liked it. She did look a little good, like KTL said. I couldn't really tell. I was like halfway and halfway, like, did she really look good or did she not? The last scene, she put them shades on, she had that dress on, like, yeah, she looked pretty good. Athena, she looked good as well. I think Athena was fire.
Shout out
She was
Hillary
fire the whole
Swank.
movie.
Whole movie.
The mysterious ass fucking evil villain character, like from the beginning. Like we found out about Athena from the beginning. They had everybody else's name in the text message. Her name just said A because she was the one texting. And then once they got on the plane, they say Athena, and we see this lady come out from the back and body somebody. Or she told somebody to body somebody. One of the
No,
two.
she definitely bodied it.
She did it?
She stabbed her
Okay,
heel
yeah.
in the
The
nigga's
heel
eyeball.
That's
bro.
yeah, she stabbed her heel in his
Oh,
eye,
that's
in
what
his
you meant
eyeball.
earlier.
Thanks, Pools, man.
Finally.
And so it's like this whole the way
That
they
was
did
fire.
her character, I think was crazy. I didn't know what to expect. It was mysterious. It was fire. The elitists, I think they were like characters that were disposable, but I do enjoy some of the commentary that they was giving off because I think it was kind of funny. Some of that shit, like how they started talking about. Well, I don't know if the whole slavery and racism thing, the N-word thing was funny, but that kind of caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it. Like, I wasn't ready for that shit to happen. Whenever he killed Buddy, and he was like, "Oh, he probably said the N-word," and he don't even say it in private. It was like, okay, okay, I see what's going on here. I kind of like how they kind of incorporated that shit. They was talking about Haiti and AIDS,
Global
fucking
warming and shit like that.
yeah, like just a whole bunch of shit. There was like, I see the political debate that they're having here and the two sides of it. They was making fun of it. Like me, I'm in the middle because I don't really pay attention to a lot of politics like that, and so I don't really know the ideas of both sides. So I'm just in the middle, like watching, like listening to everything, and so it didn't affect me like it might have affected some people. I fucked with it. The fight scene was fucking crazy, fucking amazing. Those ladies did a great fucking job. This movie is a lot better than I expected it to be. Whenever we first got this movie, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is to me, but I actually give this movie a 9.
Let's go.
Fire.
Luno, you still there?
Horizontal.
It's my turn. All right.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So, first off, I did note that the trailer, not the trailer, but the art for this movie said the movie that no one's asking for or something like that, which I thought was interesting because I do think based on the commentary, it's a movie that maybe some people might feel like society is not ready for. Like this has things in there you can't say out loud and not incur a reaction or not, you know. So I think that ultimately this film was a little bit of a parody / commentary while also maintaining the sort of Hunger Games or, you know, Ready or Not kind of mold where, you know, people are getting hunted down. Honestly, yeah, beginning, the confusion was justified. Obviously, they wanted to leave us in the dark about certain details, but from the beginning, I already know that niggas are getting hunted down and shit. So I'm not really like, you know, completely confused. There wasn't really too much intrigue at the beginning. I just realized these niggas are dropped in a situation. They're dropping supply crates with weapons in them, and that's, you know, as basic apply as you could get. The revelations that come downstream, just like kind of figuring out just sort of like how this all came to be and stuff like that. Obviously, it's a big fat joke, right? Like you got the wrong person. Come on, you know, the plot ends up coming together, but I think this movie's focal point was actually in the punchy sort of writing and what the characters were saying to each other. And so I have to take it at that level. Honestly, I don't think the action choreography was definitely good and characters did a sort of good job. But I mean, even in the final fight, there was just a lot of fall down on the ground, help each other up, walk somewhere else, fall down. And so for me, the action is definitely lackluster compared to a lot of other movies. And at least in Ready or Not, you know, the gruesomeness was kind of exact and it was low effort and it was direct and, you know, just like accidentally fires the crossbow, guy gets shot, XD, you know, we just laugh about it, you know. But for this movie, I thought that the visual element was just all right. Like I didn't think it was like a crazy looking movie. I thought that the effects of the blood, I just see maybe like there's like a squirty bottle the guy's laying on, and that's what's making the blood come out his neck and the opening scene. You know, just certain shit like that was like kind of cheesy to me. And then as far as the commentary is concerned, didn't really help the film too much. I think if we want to say that it's a commentary, we can do that. The problem is if it's showing both sides, it's not really saying anything. It's just trying to maybe show how stupid it is, how polarized we are. But you know, I'm not going to give people, you know, credit for just saying there's a conversation going on. I wanted to add something to the conversation, something that a Mr. Spike Lee does very well. That being said, though, I thought this was an okay movie. I stayed, you know, attentive, but I certainly wasn't entirely engaged. There was a part where I was kind of just waiting for that shit to be over, you know, and I regret that because I think that the premise for the movie is like pretty good and workable and shit. It's just not my favorite. And I also think these actors, for what it's worth, are pretty capable. I just wish they weren't written to be like the voice of like, you know, some disgruntled internet person's Twitter feed. But nonetheless, gave this one a 7.2.
That's dope. Okay, I love this movie. Clearly, you know what I'm saying? That's why I suggested it for everybody. But it's a few things that I just thought was like that stuck out to me. Like, usually when we watch these type of surviving or action movies, it's like the main character is some jacked up swole nigga who fighting other jacked up swole. No, nigga, not this time. It's a bitch who she's trained with this shit, and it makes sense that she's able to kill everybody because they don't know what the fuck they doing, bro. And one of the beginning of the scenes, nigga had to tell her, hey, did you pull the lever out for the grenade? Like, nigga got to bro, like, she just threw that bitch and thought it was gonna blow up. No, bitch, you gotta pull the bitch out. Like, bro, this shit is fine, like, on different levels, bro. To me, this shit is amazing. Another thing, like, I'm a nigga who, like, I love bitches, but I wasn't attracted to her beauty at all, bro. I'm not even watching it. Think like in Ready or Not, I'm like looking at that other girl because I think that bitch beautiful, eyes blue as hell, bitch just fine. I didn't care about that shit with her. She was just so fire that I didn't give a fuck about how she looked. She just was doing dope shit, cold hearted. You know what I'm saying? Got to do what she got to do. Also, I fuck with the dialogue. I know Luno said he really didn't like it. That shit was, it was like some witty shit every time. Like the comedy was funny as hell. Like, and another thing I noticed about you niggas, man, I might be the only person to suggest like a woman protagonist. Why is that? What the fuck is wrong with you niggas? Y'all think women don't deserve
the
to
silver
be the
lining playbook count?
No, that's the Bradley Cooper, the top nigga in there. Fuck out of here. But that is good though. KTL at least tried. You other niggas don't care about bitches or women, whatever the fuck they want to be called.
Either way, Lincoln Lawyer got a
nah, bro. That's Matthew McConaughey.
You gotta give me some credit, my
I know
dog. I haven't watched too many movies. You understand? So for me, I mean, it's not like I wouldn't if I knew something of that ilk. And we have to also consider like the whole reason these sorry to take up your spot.
You good,
you're
bro?
talking and shit. Just the fact that these movies like this are coming out in the 2020s and stuff with this like social commentary on like gender stereotypes or whatever. The fact that majority movies are gonna have these male roles typically is just a product of that shit, dog. Like what we talking about now, like what this movie's talking about, this is why there's a movement, it's because low key it is niggas like Leonardo DiCaprio and the male actors who's really taken over, and the women have always had to sit, to the side. So
yeah.
It ain't even like I'm intending to. It's just a lot of these blockbusters in the past that got that traction. It was a male at the center of that shit,
That's a fact.
And I'm not just gonna pick something just because it's a woman.
No. I'm not expecting niggas to do that. I'm not even doing that shit on purpose. I just noticed it. I'm like, damn, like I might have picked 4 movies and 3 of my shits got women protagonists. Like,
well, they're all the same genre,
bro.
They're all the same.
This is not the same. And this is not. No, that's cap. It was a
they seem like
Ready or Not. Yeah, Nightcrawler is not the same as these other movies.
You're right. Nightcrawler is the different one, but I feel like The Descent, this, and Ready or Not is kind of along the same. The Descent is not really comedy, but I think they kind of similar.
Hey man, my bad. I don't want to take up all the fucking time, bro.
No, you good, brother.
Go ahead, man.
Nigga, I could watch this whole tomorrow if I wanted to. I'm gonna give it a 8.9.
All right. That's fire.
All right, boom. I've never seen this movie. I've never heard of this movie. And I'm pissed that I've never seen or heard of this movie. I really fucked with this movie. I actually enjoy action movies that have a female role. There's a Salt, there's Ultraviolet, there's Resident Evil, things of that nature, where they got females just doing cold ass shit, bro. And I think that it does need to get a little bit more light every once in a while. So I appreciate Pools making these picks every once in a while of integrating the action females and whatnot, or the female actresses and whatnot. Lost train of thought.
That's it today.
But this fuck you. This movie was definitely fire, man. The fight scene was super fucking cold. I'm a fan of when Hilary Swank wants to throw hands, and so anytime Hilary Swank want to throw hands, I'm there to watch it. I fucked with that. This Slim, remind me of the main character's name.
It was damn, why you put me on the spot?
Damn, that's crazy. Whatever her name is, I definitely appreciated her in this role that she was in. I think she
Betty
gave,
Gilpin, I think.
yeah, boom, Betty. I appreciated Betty's work in this. I think she played just a kind of, a middle. I think that's what she was. She was just a middle. She didn't really. She sees situation by situation for what it is. It's either not fucked up or it's fucked up. Even down to individuals. She didn't grill the sergeant that was the consultant or whatever. She didn't grill him or tell him he was a terrible person or anything like that. He simply got hired to do a job. And she even thanked him for it before his service. She blew his fucking face off right after that. But she didn't necessarily see him as a bad person, just somebody who was in the way. You know what I'm saying? So I fucked with that. I fucked with the political standpoint they took of just kind of showing the ridiculousness of both sides. You got to have more people like that just take situation by situation for what it is instead of getting into the propaganda and whatnot. As the movie as a whole, I fuck with gory shit. I fuck with shoot 'em up shit, and this was both. Yeah, man, I fucked with this movie. And I would definitely watch it again. I would suggest this to anybody, whether they're looking for a survival movie, an action movie, or a female lead movie, or anything like that. I feel like this is a really good movie. And again, I'm upset that I didn't actually find out about this in the middle of the pandemic, because there was a lot of bullshit being released during the pandemic too. But yeah. As far as ratings, I think I will. I'm gonna give this a 9, man. I'm gonna give this a 9.
Oh boy, it's all down to me. All right. So first things first, I told Pujols whenever I started watching this movie, I really appreciate that he picked a movie that's only an hour and a half, man. Some motherfuckers be
Yep.
picking long ass fucking movies, dog. You know what I'm saying? And especially when they're bad, you just have to sit there and fucking, just wait for that bitch to be over. In my opinion, the social commentary of the movie didn't really land to me. I kind of echo Uno's sentiments where it's okay, you just kind of told me what's happening and attempted to make a couple comedic points to devalue both sides, and that's fair. There's definitely some stupidity within the argument, but if it was attempting to teach a lesson, I didn't really get one. There were good action scenes, all that I can think of. I enjoyed the final fight. It was pretty realistic. Everything wasn't just going according to plan. Them bitches, they fuck something up. They're laying there give me just a second. You know what I'm saying? Oh, don't run through no more glass. They're acting like real people. You know what I'm saying? And it was a bit silly, a bit goofy. Hey, Pujols, you're a funny guy, but this shit right here, bro, I think it had good comedic elements of it. I brought the time thing up at the beginning because I said I was gonna give Pujols an extra point for that, and I fully intend to. So right, like I say, the main character
What?
was fire. She just wasn't acted well. The fucking there, a lot of the characters had good comedy moments. Roots kind of let me know before we did this shit that I might have a similar issue to this in other movies that we've had where I don't feel like there was any characters that were not just cunts, and I do feel like that. I feel like the ending would have been better if they would have just both died, and that would have been the message. Nobody's really right here. It's just somebody that's left. But with that being said, it's a solid movie pick. I was never really just waiting for it to end overall. I think that I don't know if I'd watch it again, but if someone hadn't seen it, I don't think I would mind telling them to watch it. And I'm gonna give the movie a 6.5.
Oh, I came back right in time.
Yep.
No.
All right, 6.5. That shit about you giving an extra point because of the time is some bullshit.
Hey,
All this
hey,
racist,
I'm glad I
biased
made
black
it to-
ass. You
Pujols,
know, bigotry.
I just want to give a
I'm
little
glad I'm
commentary.
able to keep the complaining every week up.
Let me give a little commentary of my own. Most of Pujols movies outside of Nightcrawler are around this time. But let's see what the final score is.
Niggas be hating on me, Slim.
I just gave you a whole extra point, bro.
You didn't give an extra point to Ready or Die. That shit was only like 5 minutes longer.
Y'all niggas want some ass shit next time? Wait, watch this. Okay.
Ass shit, bro. It was almost all right, bro. You got it.
Fuck up, nigga. I'm fucking with you, bro.
Let me announce this. So, for the movie The Hunt, we have a final score of 8.1.
That's ass.
For them.
He said that's ass.
That whole got like a 9, an 8.9, and what you gave it a 9
That's
too?
the
Roots?
highest score you
Oh
ever
my
got, bro.
God.
Definitely the highest score he got.
But listen, hey, IMDb
take
gave
my
that shit a
shit
6.5. Hey, IMDb gave that shit a 6.5. For our
Don't
channel
attach
to
your
produce
what
an
I'm saying.
8.1 means
Nah,
that
you're right though.
we
I really
definitely got a
like
good
I
score.
said though, like every time, like this shit is not a fucking competition.
It's not a competition.
I really like this movie though, and I like The Descent. And I like all my shit. Fuck
I
y'all
don't,
niggas.
and also I don't think
This
the
might be the
scores.
best movie you
Oh,
picked,
wait
bro.
a minute.
We got
I did
Nightcrawler
get
fucked
Art's
up,
rating.
nigga.
Wait a
It's
minute.
debatable.
I got Art's rating again. He sent it actually on Discord like 50 minutes ago.
Gotta pay attention.
So let's
Slim.
recalculate. I'm gonna be honest. We probably don't need to recalculate. But I gave it a 9. Roots gave it a 9. Pujols gave it an 8.9. KTLS, you said 6.5. Luno, you said what?
7.2.
7.2.
See, that's 0.7 away, and you ain't.
So
bitching
Art
at him.
actually gave it an 8.1, which is what the final score was.
So it'd be like
So it's still
8.3 now.
8.1. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like we don't need to recalculate.
That's actually fire, low key.
That is pretty fire.
Facts.
Certified, but I think we did, justice to this film, and I'm glad there's a diversity of opinion.
Hey, Luno. So can we
you
talk
know.
about it? Like, is Pujols Mr. 2-2, bro? Like, what are we doing?
What the fuck that mean?
out of
The
four.
only-
Shit,
I-
Luno
like-
did.
art shit.
I mean, if we have to address it,
2 for 4, right?
Pujols has
Yeah.
Pujols
2
only
and
missed
2.
with The Descent for me. Besides that, I think Pujols has good taste in films.
Luno, you don't have to. Like, I was just making a joke, Minnesota.
All right, man. Let's get to the next fucking movie. All right, man. Let's give Black Roots a little bit of love here. Pause.
I thought this case
What?
is.
No,
Can I play his beat?
It's
Oh, my
Jeff.
bad.
Can I play the nigga beat? Shit. I wanted to incorporate the nigga beat again.
Wow.
These niggas, man. All right, KTL. Fuck his beat.
Oh my
No, I was
God.
wild
Damn.
at what Luno did.
Go ahead, KTL, man. What's the next movie?
Yeah, Luno did some wild shit.
A
But
nigga Luno in like a pink room. I saw that
hell
shit.
yeah.
What?
Hey, you
Oh,
niggas
you turned this
tripping.
camera on?
Yeah.
Yes, Slim.
This
I
shit
You
got
out
got
here
like
worried
one. I got
about
one
me.
of them lights too, but I don't be making my shit pink.
Next
You out
movie
here worried
sponsored
about
by Howard the Duck. What is it, KTL?
Howard the Duck has nothing to do with this movie, so don't you got me fucked up. All
Look
right,
at him.
so
He mean
I
business.
picked this movie, for my friend Black Roots. You know what I'm saying? We've had a conversation about this movie the past couple weeks. So without
He's
further
a
ado,
troll.
those that know me, Will Smith is my favorite actor, bro. Will
That nigga
Smith, my
ass.
favorite actor ever. Hey, bro, that's cool.
Yeah,
Shit, you
let's
can tank
go.
my
I know what the
movie
movie
next
is.
week.
I don't do that.
That's fine, bro. Will Smith and Gene Hackman star in 1998's Enemy of the State.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
We
I thought
haven't
you was
had a
gonna say
conspiracy.
Hitch. I was gonna say that's ass.
We haven't had a conspiracy movie
1998?
yet. Yep,
Nah,
we haven't
that's
had a
crazy.
conspiracy
That is.
movie
I
like
did not
that.
realize that movie was that old.
I don't think it is.
It is. I'm literally looking at it right now.
I'm talking about Hitch, KTL.
Nah, Hitch like
Hitch was
2005.
2004. 2004.
Hey, no funny though. I gotta go get yatted on Friday, and I don't know if I'm gonna be back in time.
We'll talk
We
about
get
it
it.
after the podcast. You feel me? But
All right, man. This has been another episode of the Real Rap
Hold on, let me say
Coalition
one more
Pod-
thing.
Mhm.
That nigga KTL is fire. That nigga said I had niggas watching The Hills Have Eyes. That was crazy. I didn't
Thanks,
even
brother.
catch it until that was this nigga might be a god. I don't know.
But is he this?
He's not that.
Shout out, John.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
Thanks.
Ducks, rats, and
All right, man. This has been another episode of the Real Rap Coalition Podcast. We'll be back next week with KTL's movie. All right, man. We out.